Hello, third grade. We're going to do a practice McCalls. So we're going to do 2 practice ones, and then you'll have one assigned next week. Okay, so it's Thursday, and this is just a classwork assignment. We'll be doing it together. I'll be doing a 2-part series, number 25 and number 26, and then you'll do one next week by yourself. Okay, so we're going to read this one and use strategies for solving the problems. Okay. My father showed me a cracked blue bead and told me this story about it. I was on a visit in the state of Washington. One day in the early morning, I started to walk up a mountain. A new road was being built, and a gang of workmen was already at work with shovels and picks. As I came near them, one of the men gave a shout and stooped down to the ground. I, with the rest, hurried to see what he had found. We saw that his pick had opened an old Indian grave. At the first touch, however, most of the bones crumbled into dust. Partly hidden in the dirt were 2 beads of bright blue. The first man picked them up and gave one to me. This is that bead. Okay, so now there's a couple of things. There's point of view. And point of view is who's telling the story. So we have an introductory statement here. The father showed me a cracked blue bead and told me this story. So the father showed the bead and the father told the story. That's important to know. And then the quotes start the story. So this is the story in between here. So that's point of view. The point of view is the father's, okay? So let's answer the questions. The walk was taken A, in the afternoon, B, at noon, C, at night, and D, in the morning. Well, I was visiting in the state of Washington. One day in the early morning, I started to walk up a mountain. So early morning is what we want. Okay, so let's look for an answer that's just like that. D, in the morning. So we're going to circle it nice and dark. Okay, you make your marks dark on the page. Remember that, okay? A lot of what I'm seeing is a light line. Now, if you want to make a light line and then go back and check it, that's fine, but please darken your answer. And make sure you answer all the questions. Like you might want to put a check when you answered it, okay? That you know, I have an answer for number 1. Okay, a lot of you get some wrong because you don't answer them all. You have to be careful, okay? Number 2, the beads were A, new, B, blue, C, round, D, heavy. Now we remember that because it said exactly what color they were. Partly hidden in the dirt were 2 beads of bright blue. So we want to find that answer and circle it. Nice and easy answer. Circle it nice and dark. Okay, please make sure your marks are dark. Number 3, the man found shovels, a big stone, a grave, a pick. So those are the answers there. Let's see which one is right. Looking over here, it says, as I came near to them, one of the men gave a shout and stooped down to the ground. I, with the rest, hurried to see what was found. We saw that his pick had opened an old Indian grave. Now, is there an answer like that? Let's see. Shovels, big stone. Oh, a grave. There it is, right there. And you can underline it right there so that you see where you got your answer from. Okay. All right. Number 4. The workmen were A, digging, B, shouting, C, stooping, and D, walking. Now, you might see all these words in the story, but which one is what the workmen were doing, okay? The workmen. This is what you're looking for. What were the workmen doing? So let's find the workmen. Here's workmen. A new road was being built, and a gang of workmen was already at work with shovels and picks. So what do you do with shovels and picks? You dig, right? See, now you might say, oh, they stooped because you saw that word stoop and there's stooping here. Don't let that fool you. It's the workmen, okay? The other man stooped, not the workmen. So the workmen were digging. So we're going to circle digging as the correct answer, okay? All right, number 5. Sorry, I keep bumping the camera. Number 5. Keep going. All right. My father told me a story about a mountain, state, road, bead. Now, my father showed me a cracked blue bead and told me this story. That's your answer, okay? Even though he talked about a mountain. And he might also have talked about a state, the state of Washington. He might have also talked about, what was the other one? Walking? No. A road. He said all those things, but he told the story about the bead. That is the main thing. So the answer is bead. Okay? The beads were in the... Okay, so let's find out. Where did they find the beads? Partly hidden in the dirt were 2 beads of bright blue. So they were in the dirt. Now, you might think leaves. No, there's no leaves. Stones. No, no stones. Grass. Could be assumed that there's grass, but this is specific dirt. Okay? Number 7. The workman kept A, 2 beads, B, 1 bead, C, both beads, D, none. Okay, so the workman, we're talking about the workman who kept a bead. So the first man picked them up and gave one to me. So we are inferring that he kept the other. He didn't keep both, so we know one went to the father, and there were 2 beads total, so it can't be 2. It could be 1, and it could be none. But we think from the story that he picked them up and he gave 1 away. So he kept 1 for himself. That's what we can infer from the story. Okay? Number 8. Who ran to see the discovery? A, everyone. B, the gang. C, the foreman. D, the visitor. Now, here we go. Let's find out who went. A new road was being built, and a gang of workmen was already at work with shovels and picks. As I came near them, one of the men gave a shout and stooped down to the ground. I, with the rest, hurried to see what he had found. So these are the people who saw. I, with the rest. Who are the rest? These guys. The gang of workmen, okay? He came near to them, I and the rest. That means what? Does that mean everyone, the gang, the foreman, or the visitor? Okay, the gang is the gang of workmen. So we know they're included. So it's not that. The visitor is included with everyone, and I am the visitor here, right? So I would say everyone, and that's the correct answer, everyone. So, okay. Who ran to see the discovery? I, with the rest of them, hurried. Okay? Number 9. Who was on a visit? A, I. B, a workman. C, my father. D, an Indian. Okay, so you might get confused by this one. You think, oh, I, because I, with the rest of them, turned to see what was found. But who is I in the story? It's not me that I'm hearing the story. It's my father. He told the story. So it's point of view. So you have to say that it's not I. It's not the workmen because the workmen were working there. The visitor is his father. My father. Okay? That could be confusing for you. That's point of view perspective on the story. My father showed me the bead. Okay? And then he told the story, okay? And that's how you know who was on the visit, because I was on a visit. But I is the father, okay? Do you see how that works? All right, so this was a little tricky in that sense. Sometimes when you rush to an answer, you don't get it right. So my suggestion to you is to maybe lightly pick an answer, go back into the story, circle words that go with it. Remember, when they're asking about a workman, you go back and you find out about the workman, okay? It wasn't just the one man stooped, but the workmen, they were digging. They weren't stooping. They were already at work with their shovels and picks. See how that works? Okay, I know you can do a great job on number 27. That's going to be the one that we do for a quiz. And please mark very dark on the sheet so that I can see it. And if you have to erase, do your very best. Indicate that it's the right, like if you erase it and it doesn't come off really well and you wanted to change your answer, you can change it and just say, this is my answer, this one, okay? And point to it, because I just have to know what your answer is. So if you're erasing and it's not clear, do what it takes to make it clear for me, please. Thank you so much, and bye-bye.